My father passed away in 2009, but he was a lifetime military. He retired as
Yep.
an officer in the military. I remember my dad always saying, when the terrain doesn't match the map, ignore the map.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's true in business too. So many times we've got like a business plan, but the competitive
Right.
environment is different from what we assumed in our plan. And we've got to pivot. We got to change. We got to actually, make sure that we address what's really going on, not what our assumptions were on a piece of paper.
Well, and you're so right. And, this is why one of the key aims of what we try to do is talk about driving decision making as close to the coalface as possible, driving decision making as close to the front line as possible, driving decision making as close to the factory floor as possible or the retail cash register as possible, because it's the people on the ground at the front, at the pointy end of the spear that understand better than the people at the top of the house what's going on, what things really look like. There's a great quote from Eisenhower, and I'm going to paraphrase it because the exact wording I may be slightly off on, but which is that, he said, farming looks easy if you do it from a desk and your plow is a pencil.
Yeah. No, exactly. But, I think you're hitting on something really important, which is the power of the individual, and it's interesting, if you go back kind of before the internet, right? And most of our businesses, most of our institutions were all designed before the internet, before the World Wide Web. And I think before the internet, Sir Francis Bacon was right. Knowledge is power. And so many of our organizations are structured around this power and controlling knowledge in an organization. And post-internet, really Albert Einstein is right, which is imagination is more powerful or more important than knowledge. And I think that's where we are in organizations today is how do we unleash that imagination? Because I'm always intrigued how all of us go through our lives, raising children, paying our bills on time, volunteering in the community. And somehow when we walk through the doors of a company, we're brain dead and need a supervisor. I'm always like, people don't need supervision. What they need is leadership. They need to be provided clarity and specificity as to where we're going. One of my favorite quotes is by General Omar Bradley, who said, we need to navigate by the stars, not by the light of every passing ship. And so many times,
I love that quote. I love that quote.
And competitors are just passing ships. Yeah, we got to be cognizant of where they are, right. But can we put the stars in the sky? So even if you have 100,000 employees around the world, everybody can see those stars in the sky and can navigate based on the vision of the company versus all the little shiny objects that come our way on a daily basis. And I think that's the role of leadership, is to put the stars in the sky so that we all can navigate where we're going together.
Couldn't have said it better. I mean, Pete, that is, that's the definition of being a thinking leader is providing that clarity and getting out of the way to, allow for that capability to occur. And it's so important. And it's something that is rare, though. One of the things that I was so impressed when we started working with Kimberly Clark, and I don't want to get into any confidential stuff here, but was just that to find out that there was a you there, that there was someone whose job was to think crazy ideas about how very simple consumer products could become something a lot more than just that.
Yeah.
And some of the ideas I heard from you were just mind blowing. And I was like, that makes me happy to know that there's someone whose job it is to think about things like this. And it's rare, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important to, and it's not just, I think all of us need to be unleashed. I can sum up my whole leadership principle in one equation. And that equation is performance is equal to potential minus obstacles plus encouragement. And let me unpack that a little bit, right? So
yes,
I really believe people's potential far exceeds our ability to even comprehend it. But what holds them back are obstacles. And our job as leaders is to identify those obstacles. They don't understand the strategy. They don't have the training. And it can't be excuses. I'm not talking about victimitis. I'm talking about real obstacles that keep people from living to their full potential. And sometimes the
Right.
biggest obstacle in a person's mind. And so they need encouragement. They need to be told, you can do it. I believe in you. I trust you. Go make it happen. And so many times in organizations, managers focus on measuring a person's performance and predicting their potential. And so many of our systems are around performance and potential. But I think leaders spend all their time trying to understand what are all the obstacles that are keeping you from living to your full potential, and what targeted encouragement can I give this individual so that they can live to their full potential and their performance will exceed anything we can even comprehend. And I think that's the real job of leadership, is remove obstacles, provide encouragement, and help people live to their full potential. And I think if we do that in organizations through servant leadership, I think we'll be blown away at the outcomes that are achieved by just ordinary people.